afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything amazing, deliriously exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, hero psych, defender of the fatherland, your lord and master. Whoever drives you on faster. Off here to a 1 versus 1. On Angoville in the south, you got Valkyrie with Lightning War, Jaeger Infantry, and Defensive Doctrine. Ooh la la, with Panther-Fast Infantry there. Versus the north, you got WTF fighting for America, freedom, and democracy. Taking on the role here of the 1st Infantry Division with Airborne Rifle Company and Heavy Cavalry with triple infantry bulletins there for him. MG42 Grenadiers there for Valkyrie. Double Riflemen for WTF. We got the Pioneers moving swiftly westwards. There's the MG42 moving up eastwards on its own. Bit more risky due to a lot of sight blockers. I mean, there's less after the map got overhauled, which I suppose was very much due, but it's still kind of risky sending your machine gun if you got Grenadiers plan up to move up in there. We'll have to see the Pioneers moving westwards, also noting here that WTF is focusing hard eastwards. Angoville tends to be very much focused about these, since obviously that's where 2 of the victory points are, so... Then, of course, the Great Road dividing for the centre does tend to create, this divide, and also means usually if you focus west, you tend to have an easier time because the other chap will initially tend to focus on the east. Plus, as the variant in the south, even with the map change, he is still tend to be somewhat unfavoured, in my opinion, so it's generally not what I'd recommend, but, still a lot of players go for it. Reaction to the quad here by the MG42, 1200 rounds per minute, getting straight out at them and quickly suppressing them. Rifling up, they were quickly getting flanked here by Grenadiers, hold up nice behind cover. Though theoretically, could actually push their close since there's a lot of light cover, meaning the rifleman could easily have gotten close without taking too much damage and then beating Grenadiers, but WTF here decides to play it safe versus the Wehrmacht. Which is, by the way, in this case, the, let's just say 2nd Panzer Division. More Grenadiers on the way there for Valkyrie. Fun fact about the 2nd Panzer Division, it actually had to give up its Panther Battalion in Normandy to the 21st Panzer Division, which did not have a Panther Battalion. But in return, it received a Panther Battalion from the 21st, oh not 21st, the 116th Panzer Division instead. And in fact, Panther Divisions were, or not divisions, battalions were quite commonly just shifted about like that. For example, in Italy, the only Panzer Division, for example, that arrived then with its Panther Battalion, for example, around 1943, when they were still pretty rare overall in the Italian front, were overall rare. It was actually immediately moved into a Corps Reserve, as an example. So a little fun story there about Panthers and how they were generally sort of shifted about. Mortars on the way there for WTF in the early game. Aggressive play there with the MG42 bar. We got Jaeger Infantry. Very good choice here, by the way. Strong choice, lots of cover, lots of stuff there. Plus MG42s and upgraded Grenadiers benefit a lot from ambush camouflage. So very interesting moves there by Valkyrie. Rifling up here, we got a bit of push into the west there. So far, Valkyrie, I think, is playing it perhaps a bit too defensively. Also, he's leaving the MG42 a bit exposed. So slightly risky moves there by Valkyrie. Slightly risky moves. We'll have to see how it works out. Of course, the mortar is a good choice for WTF. Provides artillery support and smoke screens, which of course is very handy in a lot of circumstances. Moving up the Grenadiers, who are going to try and flash out the rifle and then burst them down with the MG42. More Grenadiers on the way there for Valkyrie. Lots of infantry, of course, the Jaeger Infantry, very much benefits from there. We go. Rifle suppressed by the MG42. East side is somewhat open there for Valkyrie. And meanwhile, east moving up here. 2 Grenadiers versus the rifle. They can focus on Wildfire Squad before the other one commences to join in. They should have a chance here to win the engage in the west, which of course would be really good for Valkyrie. Otherwise, taking out I think would be a good idea as fast as possible. And I imagine he's going to go for at least some G43, since versus the Americans, getting G43 Grenadiers is really good. And there we go. WTF, they're pushing his luck a bit much. They quickly turns around there instead of possibly trying to finish, but instead rushes down the Grenadier rifle here. The right here feel like Valkyrie's making a mistake rushing up close to the rifle instead of finding that range, and also apparently can get both Grenadier squads in there. Actually turn engagement, he could have won it. Oh, into a complete mess, and the Grenadiers got wiped. Guess there's some issues there with the actually targeting going on that can happen, can be very frustrating. But really not a good development for Valkyrie. There was an engagement that could easily have been won, but I guess some misclicks, they just completely, well, fudged him over. So that was pretty good there for WTF, but again, terrible for Valkyrie. And the 2nd Panzer Division pursuing the men on the 1st Infantry Division. Grenadiers moving ahead there. Still some time for one to get G43, so they can add ambush camouflage if he wants to. Though, really, on the Grenadiers, you really want them to have an upgrade before adding the ambush camouflage, since with the basic counter TK, the ambush camouflage bonus is not good enough. But as soon as you get any sort of decent, rate of fire high weapon there, like the G43s or the LMG, I mean the ambush camouflage bonus really begins, hitting home. Additionally, stuff like Panzer Grenadiers and of course the heavy machine gun team also benefit massively from it. I mean, basically anything That shoots really fast, benefits 8 tons from ambush camouflage. Grenadiers there. Bunker up, medics on the way. No like to make a nice company yet. That should probably be priority for Valkyrie. Can now go for the G33s. And I imagine that should be a somewhat swift priority there. Always aggressive moving ahead. They're cutting off and denying WTF here resources. Very good. We got the captain up with the lieutenant. So WTF here, aiming for, I would say, a slightly more message strategy, not sort of highly aggressive play here versus Valkyrie. Grenadiers right here as well. MD14 needs to reposition. Again, ambush camouflage could also help them just, you know, be a bit harder to detect immediately. But otherwise, you should probably get up the lag to make a nice company fast. Maybe some Panzer Grenadiers or some 2-2s. I imagine, though, he's going to go for Jaeger command squad, since, you know, 5-man squad with G33s and ambush camouflage is really good for just 300 manpower when you're the Wehrmacht. Hitting the western point here, Grenadiers on watch with their Gewehr 43. Was basically based off the Soviet SVT-40 semi-automatic rifle. That's a fun fact there. Mortar on the way there for Valkyrie to counter the enemies. Mortar, of course, by mortar support for his own men. Very good idea there. More G33s on the way there for Valkyrie and the 2nd Panzer Division. Also sehr good. Unless you're the American plane, in which case, of course, more G33s is bad news. Moving up here, mortar support they're running down. Pioneers in the west need a bit more support. They got the Grenadiers running up to back up. Captain there should be careful about sticking around for too long. Mortar find, of course, potential more firepower there could give the WTF there a bit of a rough time. Very low health on the captain already. Machine probably should move a bit further ahead. Taking mortar fire there from WTF's mortar crew in the west. Bit more advancement here. Got both fuel points on his control, though he needs to reconnect the eastern one. We can see there that WTF is coming up to grab the eastern fuel point. Good work. Good work. Back here, reinforcement healing. Still not sound anything further from Valkyrie. The question is he actually planning to try and rush tier 3 here versus WTF, or there's something else going on here? Because he's still got no luck to make a nice copy. Got the rifle levels, the Grenadiers. No grenades up. He's got the punishment as well, so the overall this should be a win here for Valkyrie unless something really silly happens. And there you go, the Grenadiers are quickly cutting down the rifle there. No match about experienced German infantry with Gewehr 43s. Mortar Grenadiers moving up here. Machine gun Grenadiers good to go back in the base again, and he can go for the Jaeger command squad right about now. And that's going to give Valkyrie there the 4-man squads again, or 4 squads again, not 4-man squads, but you know, 4 separate infantry squads. All reasonably heavily equipped, and there we go. Certainly starting to look like he might try and rush tier 3. Or at least skip tier 2, which is an interesting move there, a bit risky. I guess with his opponent going for the anti-aircraft half-tech, it could work out maybe? I don't know. Anyways, Cap moving up here, MD4 sitting up, Grenadiers moving as well there, no upgrades for them yet. No additional G-Future light machine guns, and so far, no units being upgraded with the ambush camouflage. Bit of a no sight there. And I would also say a bit of a shame. It is a really good upgrade, in my own personal experience playing the game. Yeah, Command's got their charge, got the rifle there, blasting away there. Shooting away. We got Grenadiers moving up here. MD4 moving in as well, Mortar moving up as well to back up Valkyrie. Mortar firing away. Grenadiers healing reinforcing, no further take up there for Valkyrie. MD4 to open the rifleman. Quick machine gun move out there to deal with the flanking rifle. Nice work there by WTF, but in this case, probably a bit too slow. Should have considered, you know, they might get past there a bit faster. Grenadiers are in there. Right flank F2 looks like going to be a total loss here for Valkyrie as WTF they move faster than Valkyrie could react and just completely outmaneuvered him. Very good move there. No further check, but they're still like to make a nice company. If he's playing that tier 3, I think he should get going with it faster. Pushing back here in the east with the Grenadiers equipped with the G43s. Grenadiers got at least the fuel pump under neutral. Intense fighting here between WTF and Valkyrie. Still no doctrine for WTF here, whereas again Valkyrie does have Jaeger infantry, and unless WTF is just blind or apparently doesn't know that Jaeger infantry has the Jaeger command squad, he should be aware of it by now. Captain up close to this, the Grenadiers is a really bad development there for WTF. Good chance of getting a wipe if he focuses down. Or at least has a bit of good luck as well. There we go, back to 2-1 Grenadier squad. But yeah, Tends to be a very common choice for Wehrmacht players, at least in some circumstances. When up against the riflemen, they will go for the doctrine G43, since again the G43 really does a lot for the Grenadiers in fighting riflemen. It is a very good upgrade, and of course Jaeger Infantry adds even more there. Additionally, if you had like ambush camouflage to the G43 Grenadiers, they become even more nasty, you know, say ambushing riflemen. They get that little accuracy bonus they get with the ambush is really good for G43s. But looks like he's adding it to the light machine gun Grenadiers. Not a bad idea either. Again, that one also benefits a ton. I mean, it may just last 5 seconds, but it's just such a bonus because, again, all of a sudden those light machine gun bullets, again, a bunch of them usually miss. Suddenly do not miss, and that means you can do a ton of damage with it. That can mean quickly, you know, dropping a model or two before your opponent knows what's going on. Particularly with a bit of other few units there going on there. Similar with the G43s, I mean, they can quickly drop a model or two. And that can usually give you a quick advantage there, and of course force your opponent just to retreat. So it's a really good upgrade. Rather than their suppressed heavy machine gun fire there, raking them down and hosing them with lead. Securing the east, fighting under Components plus Captain. WTF and the 1st Infantry possibly needs to reconsider his tactics just a bit, but there you go, he's rushing from as well. Valkyrie really needs to get that take up, there we go. So, I mean, it's a bit rare to see a Tier 3 rush like this from the Wehrmacht. I mean, at this stage, not quite a rush, but still a bit interesting to see there. Not quite how it usually happens, but it's interesting to see there. And also interesting to see that WTF himself is also rushing for armor. So both players are basically trying to race each other for tanks. We'll have to see how it works out. But so far, though, Valkyrie does seem to have the fuel lead overall here, so they might work out. Then again, WTF does have the advantage. He just needs to, you know, tech, and he's got the building already done there. Valkyrie needs to build as well, so he might just be able to edge ahead there. It's going to be a close one for sure. Morgan is there for Valkyrie, of course. I mean, if he's going for that kind of strategy there, he can only get Grenadiers, really, though. I would say versus an infantry strategy like this, he really should consider second MD42 to help curtail and control the riflemen, rather than going for more infantry here. Well, that's just me. Jaeger's moving up there. This should, of course, also now signals to Valkyrie. Alright, there's a major. I should begin really worrying about tanks. And there you go. He's more or less sort of backtracked a bit here, going for the light mechanized company, since he knows he can't get out a tank first, most likely. I mean, he could, but he's certainly assuming he probably won't. Which isn't an entirely bad assumption to make. I really think he should have gone for another machine instead of the Grenadiers here. I mean, he's already got 4 Grenadiers plus the command squad. And I think another MD42 would have benefited him a ton more. There you go, Parnies was wrapping up close. Flammable for spewing out the windows there. Not entirely sure that is the safest idea there. Wrapping a bit of trouble. Points being seized here in the west. Good advantage as well. I mean, Valkyrie's always doing a reasonably good job. They control the map, but the tank could prove to be a bit of an issue here. There we go, veterans bonus, which is something, you know, or ambush bonus, which is something the command squad just gets automatically, and again, can really just help them dose out more damage. Big 2 points wise, we also know it is actually pretty close between the two, with a tiny minuscule lead here for Valkyrie. Minimal. Grenadiers moving up the east. Another push there for the fuel point. Captain there's the command squad. But there you go, gets up close. Jaegers need to retreat now before they get annihilated. He's finding out as well. We got the more light machine guns with ambush camouflage here. But they could also try and keep them around here, so at least get the bonus and just, you know, get ready to shoot anything advancing. Probably should shoot at the rifle advancing. He's not paying attention, though. The rifle able to cross the negative cover without really getting shot at there. That's really bad here for Valkyrie. Great though for WTF here. Also, I think could really done some serious damage to the rifle. There you go. Gonna use this rifle in here as well. Again, without the ambush bonus, they're out in the open, bit easy to target. Still, the light machine is great, but in the end, he has going to have to retreat here since the bars are simply put too much. Still, Valkyrie and the German army are retaining control there. We got a pack out of the WTF. He's also by floating a lot on manpower. I can understand why. I mean, he could build some caches, but it's not like he's taking inordinate losses here against Valkyrie. And he obviously doesn't go on his spam infantry. Oh, quick rifle against the captain, and close one there. That could have been a wipe there, which would have been great for Valkyrie. So Palmer co-op. He's actually going to go out the tank first despite all this, so while he did go for the light to make another company, it doesn't hurt to have it ready. Could quickly net him a pack, a half tank, or maybe some Panzer Grenadiers. Still good map control here. WTF struggling a bit more. the G43s and all that is putting a bit of pressure on WTF football. They still yet to choose a doctrine. No ranges, no airborne, no, I don't know, flamethrowers on the rear echelons and set up for EC8s. Gonna need to be a bit careful. We got more rifle away there for WTF, so he's now committing to more troops. And Valkyrie there's getting the first tank, a Panzer IV. Panzerkampfwagen 4. Pack out up to the front line. Parties are dealing with the rifle, back at base. We got the Panzer IV on the way there slowly for Valkyrie. A rifle squad out here for WTF. Might want to get into the car. I mean, if you're going to add ambush camouflage to them, you know, remember to try to get them into cover from time to time so they actually use the bonus. That push did not go out well there. We got to put Grenadiers being right in these as well. Grenadiers moving forward, but that house is proving to be a bit of a nasty obstacle here for Valkyrie's further advances. We got the Panzer IV, their pinlight machine being added. WTF still without a doctrine. We are approaching the 20-minute mark and he still hasn't chosen anything. He's starting to look a bit worrisome there. Back at base, healing reinforcement going there for Valkyrie. Panzer IV moving forwards for the German army. The air command's got their close to 22. Panzer IV getting its machine gun added. There you go. Ram going to take a nasty hit there. And of course, worth noting that WTF has got no anti-tank weapons, no anti-tank guns, nothing. He's going there for the M1 now in response to the arrival of the Panzer IV. Still hasn't chosen a doctrine. You can actually go for a Sherman right about now. Roughly. Or you could of course try and go for the EC8, which of course would be a bigger problem for the Panzer IV due to better armour, penetration and health. Plus of course all the other advantages the Sherman get in terms of smoke screens and self-repair. Going up here, charging into the base, trying to get some wipes in here. Bold maneuver there by Valkyrie, even trying to take out the ambulance, taking hits instead. He could actually destroy the pack out here, which would be pretty great for him, or he could steal it, I guess. There he goes, trying here for the wipes, Rearson's retreating, but decides not to stick around longer. But will he destroy the pack out though? Does he realise he's actually got an abandoned or he's going to try and steal it? Because he should definitely, if he is aware of it, you know, destroy it if he can't grab it. Seems to be a really bad idea there for WTF to get it back. But it seems like he is just not seeing it. Now he doesn't really care. Now we got a huge swarming assault here from WTF. Sadly, Valkyrie's machine gun team was not quite the front line to back up. We got artillery calling, trying to shot. Oh, he's calling in there on the howitzer to deny it. Also causes a huge retreat there from WTF, who completely panics at the sight of mighty German light artillery. There we go. Pack power destroyed and denied. Right now, Valkyrie's very much control the field. He's going for more grenadiers. That seems ill-advised. I mean, he's actually very close to be able to call in more tanks, and I think like he'd be heading up to 6 infantry squads, which is excessive to say the least. I mean, go for an MG42 and maybe some Panzer grenadiers. We'll get some cashers up, but I feel like, there we go, he cancels one of them. Seems like he also kind of went, yeah, Sis might actually be a bit too much. Bazooka major up, mines being laid down as cover against armoured assaults. WTF still not going for any armour. Still no sign of a doctrine here. Bit difficult to say what WTF is thinking. Panzer IV, they're hammering away. 13 kills of that. Really laying it in there for the fatherland. There we go. We got really called in by WTF here by the Major. And we finally got a doctor of choice. It is a rifle company. Not one to see a lot of, but I still think it's a good doctrine. EC8 is pretty good, though he just quickly dumped most of his manpower into reinforcements. So, oh, now I can't go for it again. So you should go for it as soon as possible. Valkyrie going for a second Panzer IV. Another Panzerkampfwagen 4. Captain pairing out of nowhere here to engage the Grenadiers in the east, and out in the open the Captain very much has the advantage of the Thompson and the bars, having double bars on Captain. No, he ends up retreating. I think he actually beaten the Grenadiers there. In the center, Gunlead is being overwhelmed here by sheer amounts of American infantry and artillery. Panther 4 almost done. Still not trying to run there for WTF again. Despite having gone for Rifle Company, you'd figure his immediate priority would be getting out a tank of the EC8 kind. Holy smokes. He got lucky at the Panther 4 side on the Rifle squad in front, instead of just realising there's a huge lump there of infantry which could have targeted down, possibly gotten some really huge hits. Now does risk getting hit with anti-tank rifle grenades, and then swarm of bazookas and anti-tank guns. Right here, Valkyrie sending his tank with no support there. He's quickly risking losing his tank. Also, he's on the way there for WTF and get rid of the Panzer 4. That's going to be huge because that means it's going to be one Panzer 4 versus one EC8, in which case the EC8 is deeply favoured due to, again, the aforementioned more health, more armour, and more penetration. Which is a really big edge. There you go, Panther 4 moving in, flanking in there, charging ahead. They're going to do something what they can. Bazookas failed to penetrate the Panther 4's armour. Pretty lucky there for Valkyrie. Machine gun team though wiped out. That is huge. Definitely not a good loss here for Valkyrie. And the German army, Panther 4 charging in. He's going to try and take out the ambulance. Maybe get the rifle down retreat. There we go. Ambulance down. Rifle could go down here. Needs to be careful, doesn't stick around too long. Ooh, the Major could go down as well. Oh, goodness. This Panzer 4 is causing extreme havoc there within WTF's base. But there you go. Stuck around for too long. Taking hits there from the EC8. Shot bounced off the EC8's armour. Panther 4 needs to get out of there fast. Another penetrating hit here in the east. Points being secured. Rifle moving in. Panther 4 looking to escape. Jaeger command squad coming up with the Panther fast to back up. Could also throw down a smoke grenade to cover the Panther 4's retreat here. But he's aiming for the Panther fast here, making use of the extra range bulletin. WTF, of course, is now forced to replace the ambulance there after Valkyrie's brutal raid. And he's going for the Sturmgeschütz to help back up versus the EC8. That's a very good decision there, since the Stuke has a better armor penetration and rate of fire than the Panther 4's plus range. So it is much better suited for taking on stuff like the EC8. So that was a very daring raid there for Valkyrie. Could have gone wrong, but in this case, netted him several units wiped and an ambulance left on fire. Flanking the anti-tank, and he looks like, oh, WTF isn't paying attention. He seems unawares of the fate befalling it, and there you go. Infantry marching into the MB-42, not good there either for him. And routed, unsurprisingly. WTF they're hitting fuel points, very good idea there. Sturmgeschütz 3 Ausführung gear then mobilised for Valkyrie and the 2nd Panzerdivision. Panther 4 falling back here, halfway to eventually 2 roughly. Got the EC on the move, noting no 50 caliber machine gun then being added on top. Fixing up the other Panther 4, very good work there. That's a lot of armour here that Valkyrie has managed to assemble versus WTF and the Americans. Pinlock machine gun being added to the Stuke as well, very good, very good. Cap moving up here, right in front of the Sturmgeschütz and the Panzerkampfwagen. An immediate retreat here from WTF as he realises his captain has no way to withstand this. Note that Valkyrie is not replacing his lost machine gun, and meanwhile WTF is bringing up another anti-tank gun to deal with this. Very good idea there, since he can't immediately bring up any other armour. Swiftly moving westwards there, routing the rifleman with heavy firepower there. A rifleman routed. Rifleman being pushed back. Double Panther Force, they're pushing them back. No real kills they're being done, but some of the machine guns did add some damage. EC8 moving in, we got the anti-tank as they're ready to try and resist the push here from Valkyrie towards the base. I don't think Valkyrie's actually going to try and attack the base. I mean, currently coming to 2 meta, base attacks aren't exceedingly rare because, you know, they're tricky, in particular versus the American base, which is just absolutely horrible for this because there's so many shot blockers, it becomes very difficult to take the damage, and even then the buildings can still absorb a ton of damage. So attacking an American base tends to be very much an exercise in just futility, or at least just really a big waste of time and not fun. Panther 4, they almost got taken up by the anti-tank guns. You do need to be careful around the M1s since they have a much higher rate of fire than other anti-tank guns. but still doing full damage, so they can really quickly tear through medium armor. That is really important to keep in mind there. Since one mistake and you can quickly lose a tank there to 2 M1s. Of course, the M1s do struggle a bit more versus heavy armor like the Panther and the Tiger tank, but even there, pop armor piercing rounds can just have a bunch and they can still end up doing a lot of damage due to the high rate of fire. Still no pinlight machine gun there on the Sherman, that is a bit of a surprise here. No action in the east. I feel like Valkyrie needs to be a bit careful about their focusing too much where his opponent is. And should try and keep up more pressure on the rest of the map, denying resources and victory points. Right, moving ahead here, swiftly and aggressively. 1-1 fight here against the Panzer IV, close to Betsy 2 and the coveted armored church, and there we go. He's moving ahead, the strength on the Panzer IV, and the Sturmgeschütz, and there goes Sturmgeschütz, pierces the armor of the EC8. Another hit there as well. Stug needs to get away though. Somebody's doing what they can to cover up the retreat. Very good. Other Panzer IV good to go. Light moving in the east by Valkyrie, who's going for more grenadiers. There are no upgrades as of yet. Panzer IV moving up. You think he should be more careful around with all these anti-tanks. I mean, he does have more. He could try and lay down a smoke and then charge through, get past the anti-tanks, and clear them out with the Panzer IVs and maybe some infantry. Otherwise, he should be more cautious about how he moves his things about. And he definitely should be attacking head-on into the anti-tank guns if possible, if he doesn't use the smoke from them. In which case, he'll be focusing more on the east and regaining the territory. I mean, there's still 2 victory points here, so if he gains that, that's going to help a bunch versus WTF easily. Yeah, lots of armor repairs needed here for Valkyrie, for the 2nd Panzer Division here versus the 1st Infantry. And these grenadiers got cut down by the rifleman, almost wiped out, and he's going for more grenadiers. He's got a lot of grenadiers. I mean, now he's at a full 6 infantry squads here versus WTF. And he's going for another MD-42, very good. As long as he doesn't hand that one over to WTF as well, that's pretty bad. Although it's worth noting here that Valkyrie is actually more or less at full pop cap. I mean, at this stage you could consider just going for the heavy Panzer Corps, so you can just quickly replace any armoured losses with something a bit bigger. Double Panzerfaust and EC8. Panzer IV moving up, but on its own it's a bit risky here. WTF following up with another EC8 here. Stug moving up here. So we called in on the anti-tank gun. Nice push here by Valkyrie. Ooh, penalty hit there. But almost got it. Oh, shot bounce off the EC8. But still he's moving faster than the Czech can keep up with. Shot bounce, and the Panzer IV went down. He shouldn't have stopped up there. Until if barrage goes off. He really wants the EC8 dead. Pretty risky here though. There you go, he got it, but I wouldn't say that was worth a veteran Panzer IV. He might end up losing the Stug as well. At which point he paid a tank and an assault gun to get rid of an American tank, which is definitely not good math for Valkyrie. It's great though for WT. Oh well, they had a tank up, but still. Stug and Panzer IV in particular, veteran Panzer IV was a lot more precious, so that was generally not a good engagement, I would say, for Valkyrie. But obviously he's tried to take up now, pull for something heavy. He's just going to go for more Panzer IVs and Stugs. Still making good progress in the east at least. But 2nd EC8 has arrived. Note the EC8 came from the E8 then the name, which basically refers to a new type of suspension the tank had, which sort of made you know, things a bit more smooth, a bit more easy, if you will. Hack falling here for Valkyrie to make up for the loss of armor and the loss of the Sturmgeschütz. No sign of anything further taking up. We got troops moving head into the MD-42. Nice position there by WTF. Quickly halting Valkyrie's mass infantry assault there. Gonna lose their caught by the Sherman. Shoots and misses. Mortar moving up. And mortar there being pushed back with the rifleman. And wiping up the grenadiers are pushing them back quite nicely. Not entirely sure what Valkyrie's planning now. I mean, he's still got a fat lead. He's still got most of the advantage here, but WTF is slowly getting ground here against Valkyrie, and again taking out 2 armor pieces there like he did was again very beneficial for WTF. So the champion Valkyries had to come back from losing a veteran Panzer IV Stug. So far there seems to be no immediate planning there from Valkyrie as to how to deal with that particular problem. Apart from being routed by the command squad, backed up by Grenadiers. A big push here by the German army, by the 2nd Panzerdivision. Also known as the Vienna Division, that is the capital of Austria, because a lot of its troops recruited from Vienna. At least originally. Fun fact. And highlights sort of how the German army operated sort of for most part of the one before the war. Basically they recruited, divisions, members from a particular, part of Germany. Which is why the Groß Deutschland guys there, because it actually went against it. It actually, recruited from across Germany and a greater Germany, hence Groß Deutschland. Hands following up there, getting some good damage. Ooh, damage then right from the anti-tank gun. Not good here for Valkyrie. Mortar is, well, there, not laid down the smoke from the top, cover up the attack, but there you go. Pack 40 launches a armor piercer around the straight for the frontal armor of the EC8. Piercing it with ease. Floating a lot of resources here. Still knows how to take up no additional armor there for Valkyrie. It's hard to say what he's planning. Might be that Valkyrie's not entirely sure he wants to go for there either. If he wants to keep sticking with tier 3, he actually wants to go for tier 4. Can be a bit harder to determine there. Gun is moving up round in the mortar there. Cat moving ahead there, route it. Rifle machine gun moving up there. In the east we got the Sherman there as the Grenadiers. Panther first off, which really doesn't do much. Troops being suppressed. Panther 4 need repairs still. Machine gun there in a bit of a bother. White Frost was down here, catching the Grenadiers in a really bad spot. Then nice call in there by WTF, disrupting Valkyrie's western line here. Though not enough to return the tide of battle around. Okay, he is going for tier 4. It will be the heavy Panzer co-op. Obviously, you can do enough with it. Meanwhile, WTF is continuing to bring in more Sherman EC8s here versus Valkyrie and the 2nd Panzerdivision. Victory points wise, Valkyrie still maintaining the lead here, but WTF is slowly trying to catch up with that. Interesting enough also, he's not really bothering with machine guns on the tanks, despite they do add some nice DPS there to the tank versus infantry. And he's fighting against a player with a lot of infantry, so you'd figure that the 5th caliber there on top would be a very obvious choice. But so far WTF does not quite seem to be keen on that one. Back here, healing reinforcement. And there you go, another EC8 out. Then this was rifleman there. Heavy Panzer of course needs to be built up faster and for him. He wants to get anything out of it soon. 300 points left there for Valkyrie. The lead is slowly vanishing, melting in between the two sides. You see it moving up. Panther 4 sending out. Troops enemy enforcing. Then it was rifling in the east, in the west. Skirmishing going on there. WTF's map control situation. Valkyrie now versus Valkyrie, who seems to be getting slowly more passive, more defensive. He's not pushing as hard as he should, but there's still, I think, clear opportunity to do so, which of course is great for WTF and the Americans. Also much more aggressive flanking there from WTF from the west, and again more white phosphorus to disrupt Valkyrie's defenses, which might just cause it to get more defensive, which is only again great for WTF. So now he's losing control of the west, they still hasn't getting control of the east. Not good. There we go, he retreats the Pioneers, realising he needs that heavy panzer co-op schnell. The question is, will it be schnell enough here for Valkyrie for the second Panzerdivision?
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Choosing the point there. Points are being seized, mortar on watch, but not set up. Gun leaders are hiding up, very good. And the heavy Panther, of course, finally built that he should go for a Panther, obviously, to help deal with the EC8s. Also, there's a decent chance of bouncing the anti-tank guns shots, so lots of advantage there for a Panther. They could always follow up with a Panther for a Sturm Panther to help deal with the anti-tank guns. But there you go, big push here, by WTF from the east. Rifleman, tank, anti-tank gun, all moving up there. So there's a flanking assault here to counter this move. Doing some nice damage and threatening the anti-tank gun, very nice there. They could have followed up with a Panther full push there, I think a bit better. Maybe use some sprint here, since ambush camouflage doesn't just give you an ambush bonus. It also gives you actually the sprint ability, allowing your troops to quickly move out there, which is really good actually as well at times. In particular on units with G for the fleets, or say Panzer Grenadiers, if you were ever to go for those. Shot fired, missed or bounced. And he can go for the Panther, and he should go for the Panther as soon as possible. With all these tanks about them, particularly these EC8s, he's going to need the Panzerkampfwagen 5, or he's going to need a lot of Stugs. And so far he's not going for more Stugs, in fact he's taking up, so he should go for that Panther ASAP. But so far Valkyrie remains... Oh, there we go. Now he's going for it. Panther Panzer. Pride of the Fatherland. Panther moving in straight ahead though. No smoke screen down to maybe disrupt a bit of his attack. Eventually to get in the Panther for armor tricks and being added. Jaeger commands got over, taking hits, artillery fire raining down. Slightly breaking things up, but not quite as fast. Panther still providing support. Pioneers need to retreat soon before they get overwhelmed. Not enough infantry about there. Where's the remaining infantry? It is a bit scattered on the base. Panther's almost on here for Valkyrie though. We got to push for the car point with the MG42. A bold maneuver. Very bold maneuver. And still a machine gun fire for any of WTF's tanks. Although we got the Panther out there. Panzerkampfwagen 5. With 80mm of sloped armor and a tread, I think with a bit more than that. Maybe, I think 90mm? Or is it actually 110? I can't quite remember. But it had a bunch of armor as well. Early turrets had a bit more of a slope gun mounted, but as it turned out, that stuff deflected shots into the top of the tank at times. An issue the King Tiger also had. Though, unlike the King Tiger, which just went for then a very thick flat front turret, the Panther added a slight chin to the mantlet that sort of prevented it from being bounced down. But there you go, flanking here the EC8 with its high velocity sent from the cannon. He's leaning and penetrating, second shot misses though. Needs to be careful not to get too greedy. Careful there, careful. Looking to destroy the anti-tank gun. Panther won't with support on these. Need to cover up the other anti-tank. So we destroy one, of course. That's great. And there you go. Down it goes. Need to get that Panther out of there, though. West side sees a bit of light engagement here. Grenadiers versus Captain. Panther shoots, misses. A rifleman around it, and the Grenadiers in the west got wiped there. Again, one issue to get, if you get too many infantry squads like that, you can't actually keep track of them and lose them. At this stage, with a Panther and a Panther Fire, he definitely should go for more Pioneers to help repair the tanks faster. Meanwhile, WTF adding more riflemen to the field, more infantry. Big push into the west. Need to remember the fuel and the victory point here. Though, of course, we've got a machine gun in the way, so he's going to have to dispatch a tank to assist for that. And he should add a pin-up machine to the Panther, since the Panther benefits a bunch from this. WTF still not going for machine gun his tanks. Nice flank here by Valkyrie, getting past the MD-42. And we got the Panther in as well. Still no pin-mark machine being added there to the Panther. Still, the west is open there. We can see here that WTF can win his tank to deal with this, in which case the Panther should have a good chance with of them. As long as he doesn't do anything too silly. There we go, E-ship moving down the road to blow up some crowds. But there you go, direct hit from the Panther, piercing the E-ship's armour easily. Another shot though, but this time misses. E-ship there spots the Panther, first gets off the shot field, and Panther misses as well. E-ship number 2 shoots, misses. There you go, penetrating from the E-ship on the Panther, but there you go, return hit on the E-ship. Oh, veterans who won there, giving access to the Radionet bonus, not bad. And the East Panther also hit, we got another unit wiped up here. Need to be careful of those units, Valkyrie. Need to be careful. German Grenadiers don't grow on trees. MB-42, they're trying to deal with the advancing force. We got the MB-42 backing up the American attack. They're making it much harder for Valkyrie to defend. Panther there down to less than half health. So Lee called in. We'll never see who goes for a Sturmpanzer or a Panther there for now, but I definitely expect to go for Sam to help deal with some more of these support weapons and infantry. Grenadiers on the west, they need to retreat as well. 227 to 27, there you go. Machine gun wiped out, not good here for Valkyrie, not good. Bringing in the Pack 40, but with limited support, there's a bit risky. Flanking the EC8 here, Panther forming in, Grenadiers should back up as well there. Let's get them more to further force to support the front line here. EC8 routed by the tank. Anti-tank gun, Panther forming in there. Could take out the anti-tank gun here, which only helped WTF to lose his 8 anti-tank gun crew. And of course helped the Valkyrie much more in the future here. 200 points left here though for WTF. Got the anti-tank gun. Shot bouncing in there, go Panther getting focused down, needs to get some support in there. Looks like it's not going to happen though. Grenadiers moving in. That Panther 4 is down. Quite a blow there to Valkyrie and the German Panzerwaffe. Though he can soon go for another Panther, in which case 2 Panther versus these 8s with the not big second out there. But anti-tank them down. Valkyrie's starting to take heavy loss against WTF, trying to win the Panther here. Need to be careful, need to be careful. Veterans U1 gained. That was a bit of a messy engagement there for Valkyrie. Yes, it is brought up more pioneers, which is good. But I'd say things could have been organised a bit better there for him. 21 kills in the Veteran defeat Jaeger command squad. Right wing westwards there. Panther need repairs. The faster the better, and of course the faster he gets out more armour the better as well. He's going for a Pack 40 first, which will, you know, by its very nature delay another tank. So I'm not the biggest fan of that move. But right now WTF's looking to have the much larger force here with more tanks, and he's easily calling more tanks. Valkyrie on the hand is now really struggling with manpower. Apparently this again, the whole going for 6 Grenadiers, or lots of Grenadiers, and there you go. Wow! Both bars dropped. He should definitely grab those and turn them against WTF and the Americans. And there you go, immediately pops on the Grenadiers. Increasing their firepower notably. That's going to help out a bit here in the longer run, but the question is, will it be enough to really carry through Valkyrie after losing so many tanks, so many panzers? Grenadiers bring in there, 18 kills. Getting some good hits against the Americans. And there you go. Yeah, command squad to the American Rifleman with the machine gun backing up there. Grenadiers need to get up there and try and flank here about. Of course, if he's aware of this, but certainly then trying to flank about would not be a bad choice to assume there's a machine gun backing up. There you go. And of course, it's great that WTF is using machine gun actively supports attacks. That's a really good move. In this case, it didn't quite work out. Probably could have gone a bit wider there himself, but still, nice to see. Panther good to go. We really should go for more tanks though. And again, pin machine on the Panther, you know, adds a bunch. Both EC8s repaired. Will he go for more EC8s? Will he go for Jacksons? Will he go for Scots? Will he go for regular Shermans? Well, probably not those. We shall see what it ends up with here though for WTF and America. Seizing the point here. Could he grab the victory point there as well? 202 is on 90. It's actually pretty close between these two throughout most of the match. Still not done anything further armored wise since he's just against comfortably short on manpower now. Gonna be hammered by the 2 EC8s. Push on the Western Pioneers on their own. They need to retreat. Schnell, Panther moving up, ready to encounter and stop the Americans. And there we go. Both miss each other. There you go. Pack 40 moving up. We got the Valkyrie 2 EC8 moving up there. Shots fired. Panther misses as well. And now we've got a big swarm of infantry and no machine guns to carve against it. The machine gun is on the west flank. That is a really bad one there for the pack, since now that means the Panther has to basically cover that themselves. And that machine gun adds to the Panther. It's only going to be harder. We got the tanks that pursuing. Got a 30s on the way to the WTF. Mortars also exposed. This is rather rubbish for Valkyrie. And there we go. We got White Foxes called in to further disrupt Valkyrie's defense here. And the rest of the Pioneers about to get annihilated here by the EC8. This is turning into an absolute disaster. Valkyrie, that we got the Gunleaders and the Jaeger commands got around to at least try and salvage the situation in just a bit. And the West swarming right from there, overwhelmed the MD-42 and routed in its entirety. Bad news there, Panther moving in, no pin up machine being added, Gunleaders Jaeger commands got up the east side, and down here we got healing and reinforcement for Valkyrie. Straight to the EC8 here though, Valkyrie 2, 20 kills. Panther there versus the EC8.
That's it, fellas. Knock their fucking block off. Germans have 200 points left. WPM-110 smoke strike can be delivered to... A capture point is under attack.
Panther falling back. They're close to Veteran 2. EC8 push back. Panther versus Rifle, Jaeger command squad backing up in the west. They're engaging as well. They've got 3 EC8s out of the WTF. Valkyrie's just with 1 Panther. He needs more armor. Pack 40's a bit to the rescue here in the west, but the overall situation in WTF is very much control the map and the terrain. Valkyrie's trying to push ahead, and again he's just constantly being manpower out there as WTF is just bleeding him out in every engagement. Pack wiped out as well. This is also where additional MD-42 has been great there for Valkyrie, just having engagement go more his way without suffering a lot of losses. Panther need repairs badly, but Valkyrie's also need of just more tanks to back up the Panther. It's not finding on its own all the time. Rifle around it. EC8 launches out with flanking against the Panther. Nice work. There's going to be a pincer maneuver. Excellent. Except if you're Valkyrie, in which case it's pretty horrid. Although in this case, WTF is actually getting time to pull back, but Valkyrie's not pulling back. He's away. He's going to get pincered, but oh dear. Damage engine is now Veteran 2 Panther there. Other EC8 does not pursue that, so I think a bit of a mistake there with WTF here. Missed them to, I think, take out that Panther fast, but now Valkyrie's been given enough time to try and stabilize things just a bit, which is great for him. But the question, of course, will it matter? He's down 172 versus the 106. They're really just neck and neck about this. So close. We got White Foxes calling to once more disrupt Valkyrie's defense here, whatever's left of it. He's now going for the Panzer IV. He's given up and trying to go for anything more than a Panzer IV to back up his Panther. Down here, troops in reinforcing. Other men moving ahead here for a Valkyrie. For the Jackson away there for WTF. Quickly into work, they're fixing up the Panther. He's got air support ready. Stuart close air support, certainly correctly timed. It could possibly turn the tide there against WTF, but right now the situation for Valkyrie is a bit grim. I mean, WTF is very much sort of numerically stronger there with a lot of tanks, and soon tank resources as well. And well, Valkyrie's got 1 Panther and a Panzer IV. Round being suppressed by the MD-42. No ambush camouflage on that one, fortunately. Also got a Pack 40 now here for Valkyrie. Not Valkyrie, WTF. Panzer IV, they're good to go. Jackson almost good to go as well there for the WTF. Needs to pop out some crews to just briefly open up the population gap there. There goes sending the Panther ahead. Panther falling to support. Shoots and misses the EC-8. Panther will take it from the other EC-8. And there you go, calling in the air support. But I would say the timing fight is pretty weak. I mean, none of the tanks are within line of sight. They're also in most cases going to be found at the edges of it. So very much risk just being a waste. They'd rather should have waited for Job to try and concentrate his tanks, in which case they might get caught off each other and then hit it. But for some reason he's actually not retreating as fast as he could have. Trying to get out. There you go. Panther went down to the EC-8s and the anti-tank guns. Panther not isolated. He's blitzing about here. He's going for that damage. EC-8. Oh dear. Montage was dealing with that. Panther is crashing a mortar crewman. Rushing in the Panther here, getting flanked. There you go. EC-8 taking a few hits, but the ace is too fast for the Luftwaffe. And there you go. Panther halfway to the ace level, but is now getting pursued aggressive. The rear is exposed, which is definitely not what you want for the Panther to be. 130 versus 176. Jackson arriving there for WTF. Valkyrie's situation is grim. Going ahead here through the east, Panther and Dine repairs, closing eventually free. Fixing up the Panther. And riflemen around it. But WTF very much enjoys a substantial armored edge. I mean, again, we're talking 3 EC-8s and a Jackson tank destroyer. Also, he's got the victory point lead now. Additionally, he also has the infantry advantage. I mean, he's pretty much holding every card. And Valkyrie's holding a map to the Potato Museum in Düsseldorf. There you go, big push. But is it enough for Valkyrie? Can it pull through to victory? And will the counter push not just push him off here? We got one EC Jackson moving in there. Still no upgrade on the Panther with the machine gun, but a shimmick on his routed by the EC-8. Jackson hanging back. Not entirely sure what he's doing here with these two chaps. They've easily been pushing in there. Panther falling back. We got 89 points left here for Valkyrie. 88 versus 176. Valkyrie seems to, there you go, giving up. Surrendered. His spirit broken. Faltered in the face of the first invasion. The second Panzer Division was not able to break through the defense of WTF and of course his vicious counterattack. So only highlighting some good play there on both sides. Valkyrie was able to establish control, but struggled, I think, to handle his armor properly. I think got a bit too confident at times. And just, lost a lot of units. I also feel like at times he just had some very confused engagements where just had units here and there, but no sort of clear plan. Whereas WTF certainly had some more clarity there, plus better unit preservation, longer run allowed WTF to wear down Valkyrie and beat him, quite squarely. Valkyrie could also, think, benefit more from some mortar smoke here and there from his, doctrine and, more armor overall. I overall think one of the issues with this force composition was just so many grenadiers. Like, yeah. And he should have added more machine guns, so added some panzer grenadiers, but I definitely feel like 5 grenadiers in the Jaeger command squad is pushing it way too hard there. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell your enemies. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers. Thank you for watching. You all are a wonderful audience. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.